Welcome back, guys. So you asked me for 10 best Hulk Hogan matches. Now, if you know anything about me, you know I'm not a Hogan fan. However, there are a couple of matches of his that I would enjoy watching and have enjoyed watching. So I created a list of 10 of probably the best slash my favorite Hulk Hogan matches. The top 5 is like my personal favorites, but I do still think they are good matches. Now, do I like Hulk Hogan? No. Do I think he's incredibly important for the wrestling industry? Absolutely. But just because somebody's important for industry doesn't mean everybody that likes that industry need to enjoy watching them. So let's get into my list of my 10, or not my 10 favorite, the 10 best Hulk Hogan matches. Number 10 is WWE Championship, or WWF, whatever it was called back then, WWF Championship match against Paul Orndorff at Saturday Night Main Event. I think it was number 9, and this was a steel cage match. So originally Paul Orndorff and Hulk Hogan, they were kind of a tag team, and then Paul Orndorff turned heel on Hulk Hogan, and they had a pretty good feud going. He was just one of the heels of the week for Hulk Hogan to beat, and I must say I watched this match back, and it's actually a pretty solid match. Next, number 9 is against Brock Lesnar on SmackDown 2002. So this was when Hogan just came back to the company. He was freshly face again against a rising, up-and-coming, absolute megastar Brock Lesnar. So it was just destined that the two of them would eventually clash. And the TKO finish to this match just made it a little bit better than any right to be. Number 8 is Team Hogan versus Team Andre at the inaugural Survivor Series, and I believe this was in '87. I don't remember the participants all by heart, so I'm just going to go through this really quickly. This was the first Survivor Series, traditional Survivor Series style match. Hogan's team was Hogan, he had Bam Bam Bigelow, he had Don Morocco, he had Paul Orndorff, and Ken Patera. Look at that quality of guys right there. Then Andre's team, it was of course Andre, it was King Kong Bundy, it was Rick Rude, it was One Man Gang, and Butch Reed. So the face team versus the heel team, and they just absolutely tore the house down. I mean, put these 10 guys in a ring, the absolute humanity in the ring. This was absolute brilliance, and it's set up for the Survivor Series to come. Number 7 is against Terry Funk at Saturday Night Main Event. I believe this was number 4. So this was unlike any other Hogan match in this era. This was fast-paced, it was chaotic, it was absolutely incredible. Terry Funk pushed him to the absolute limits. Now, earlier in the video, I forgot to mention it in my intro. I forgot to mention it. Do I think Hogan can't wrestle? No, I've watched his work in New Japan. By the way, my list is always based on WWE, so it's WWE matches only. Do I think he can wrestle? Yes, I watched his New Japan work. Do I think he gave it his all in WWE? Absolutely not. I think he was capable of a lot more, but he didn't need to be. Number 6 was against Flair, and this was at MSG. So this was shortly after Flair cost Hogan the championship against Undertaker. This was in 1991, I believe it was. This was very shortly after Flair cost Hogan the championship. So this was Flair fresh from WCW, and Hogan, of course, in WWE. The two biggest stars from the two biggest companies eventually clashing. It was rumored that the two of them were supposed to square off at WrestleMania, but their house shows didn't draw as much as Vince McMahon liked, so he didn't end up booking it. But this match, they were always destined to face, and this match was just testament to what they could actually do. Number 5 is versus Macho Man Randy Savage at WrestleMania 5. This in WWE, and I've said this in a lot of my videos, this is Hogan's best in-ring match in WWE. If you want to see Hogan work, watch WrestleMania 5 against Macho Man Randy Savage, and you'll be astounded at what Hogan can actually do. Number 6 was against Vince McMahon at WrestleMania, the Street Fight. This was Grandpa Deathmatch. It had no right to be as good as it was. And don't let me even mention you had a Piper return, and I'm always happy to see Roddy Piper. And Hogan did a leg drop from a ladder. So this just is one of my guilty pleasure Hogan matches. Like I said, the top couple of matches, just my personal guilty pleasure favorite Hogan matches. Number 3 is against Shawn Michaels HBK at SummerSlam 05. Now, it's been long said that they were supposed to have 3 matches, but Hogan didn't want to put Shawn over. So Shawn decided, let me turn heel and let me turn heel. So if you've not watched this match, don't expect an in-ring classic. This is just so much fun for me to watch. I sometimes just sit on YouTube and I YouTube Shawn Michaels overselling Hulk Hogan just to make me feel better. So Shawn Michaels decided to sell everything Hogan threw at him. He sold a punch like it was the absolute end of the world. He would sell everything. Hogan would do his big boot. Shawn would take a bump, get back up, and take a bump out of the ring. He just sold everything to absolute overselling perfection. Now, Hogan said this is one of his favorite matches. I wonder why. I wonder if it's because he believed this is finally the moment when somebody sold his lethal offense the way it should have been sold. Number 2 is against Andre the Giant at WrestleMania 3. Is this an in-ring masterpiece? No, not even close. Is it a very, very important match? Absolutely. So if you watch this match back, Andre was in an incredible amount of pain at this time. If you watch this match back, you'll see Andre mostly has one hand on the ropes. It's because he could barely stand unassisted. So this match, not an in-ring classic at all. Hogan could barely put a sequence of moves together, and Andre could barely move. But this match is so important for wrestling. And number 1 is against The Rock at WrestleMania 18. Hogan came back with the NWO. They were heels, and he was always destined to face Stone Cold. Stone Cold and him couldn't come to terms with the finish, so WWE pivoted and they went to The Rock. Would I have liked to see Austin and Hogan? Yes. Do I love this match? Absolutely. Do I think Austin and Hogan would have been better? Probably not. So they went into this match. Hogan was the heel, The Rock was the face. This match alone turned Hogan backface. That Toronto crowd could not get enough of Hogan, and they could not boo The Rock enough. So these two men in the middle of the match had to completely switch the face-heel alignment and the dynamics, and they just did it to absolute perfection. This match is truly billed as icon versus icon, and it holds up. What do you guys think? What's your 10 favorite Hulk Hogan matches? Do you even have a favorite Hulk Hogan match? Anyway, let me know in the comment section. Until next time, hope you enjoyed it. Peace.